And a good day to you all. Welcome to Studio Tips and Sound Advice. My name is Mark, and we are going to be looking at what it takes to execute and capture the best vocal performance possible, no matter who you are, what equipment you have, or where you are recording it. So, grab your favourite beverage, pull up a chair, and let's get down to it. It is a lot of information to take in, so I will split it into multiple videos, and in this one I will cover what you can do to give yourself the best foundations from which to grow as a vocalist. And if you are a recording engineer, you can use it all to help the artists you work with attain the best performance possible, which in turn will make your job significantly easier and your portfolio that much stronger. And if you stay to the end, I will show you a few very simple techniques that you can do daily to help develop your voice, which will not only make it stronger, but will additionally help you to increase your range. Indeed, these exercises can be used to form the basis of a daily routine which will benefit you immensely, allowing you to attain the full potential of your voice, and you can use them as a warm-up before you start any session or perform any gigs. So, without further ado, let's dive right in. No matter what microphone and preamp you have, or how well you can use all the plugins you have invested in, without a great performance, it all means nothing. And whether you are recording yourself for your first demo, or you're working with an amazing singer of an amazing band in a top-end studio, the same tricks and techniques will still apply. Personally, I have worked with some incredible singers and rappers who on stage had the confidence and stage presence to captivate an audience. But in the studio, they lacked that same confidence and they struggled to capture the energy of their live performance. And this can be all too common, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. Now, it all starts long before the recording session, with lifestyle choices and the cultivation of the right vibe within the studio. Firstly, we will address how the singer can give themselves the best start long before they set foot in a studio. Then we will look at techniques to get the voice sounding its best on the day of recording. And finally, we will touch on the ways the studio and session can be engineered to coax the best performance possible from the artist or yourself if you're the singer. So, lifestyle factors. Now, these can negatively and positively influence the voice. Some of these are, to be honest, blatantly obvious, but they do need mentioning. First, we have lack of sleep. A body and mind that are not properly rested will not perform optimally, and the voice is the first casualty, with a balanced headspace coming in a very close second. We could go into the pros and cons and debate this until the cows come home, but we are here to make everything the best it can be, not to cut corners to satisfy the internal ego. So make sure they or yourself have slept properly the night before the session. Next, we have diet. This affects every aspect of our life, and it can be different for everyone, I do admit, from choices based on ethical viewpoints to food intolerances. But as a general guide, dairy, fried foods and spicy foods can not only increase phlegm at the back of the throat, but they can cause inflammation of the vocal cords. Stick to lean unfried meats and vegetables and snack on fruit if needed. The session will only last a few hours and I'm sure you will survive. Now we move on to coffee. Okay, I know coffee is the go-to drink for so many these days, and the caffeine helps to perk you up. But coffee and the caffeine it contains is known to be a diuretic, and dehydrated vocal cords are not good. Stick to water, or if you need a warm drink, tea. Even better, just for the session, have caffeine-free tea without milk. You could try one of the many herbal teas, or maybe a light tea like Earl Grey or Lady Grey with a dash of lemon and some honey to taste. But not too hot. And whilst we are at it, do not drink ice cold drinks either. They torture the vocal cords. But back to caffeine. As well as its ability to dehydrate, it can in excess cause anxiety, which can lead to tension, a total destroyer of great vocal performances. And also increased thirst, which if quenched by drinking more coffee could become a vicious spiral. Now, we have just mentioned phlegm, that horrible sensation at the back of the throat. The natural reaction can be to try and clear the throat with a small cough or a hem type sound. The problem here is that this causes the vocal cords to violently smack together. Yet again, another cause of inflammation and a strained vocal sound. Never mind that it just makes you feel subpar and puts you off your performance. As a quick side, if this is something you suffer with constantly, see a doctor, as you may have a condition such as silent reflux, and it can be treated. So then comes the elephant in the room, alcohol. So I can hear the exclamations from the back, claiming its essential nature. It gives me added bravado and confidence, come the cries. But again, it dehydrates you. And even worse, it can lead to overperformance, which not only can sound bad, but it can damage the vocal cords, leading to yet again an inferior performance, especially in the upper ranges. The best advice I ever had from a singing teacher was to never go above 90 or 95% when performing, and this applies to live and studio. Such excesses can lead to vocal nodules, which even platinum selling professionals have suffered from. But they at least have the money to buy the best medical care and to take time off. Do you? However, this is very different from giving 100% of yourself. Whether live or in studio, be totally present and concentrating on the task at hand. Closely on the heel of alcohol is the other elephant of smoking, and increasingly these days vaping. Smoke is an irritant, and it has to pass over your vocal cords on its way to the lungs. This applies equally to smoky atmospheres, so if a band member wants to smoke, kick them outside. This leads nicely onto aerobic fitness. Not something that can be addressed on the day, obviously, but good aerobic fitness will provide, alongside good circulation and a healthy heart, a larger lung capacity, and it also helps to keep the airways clear, both of which will pay massive dividends in both the short and the long term, both as a singer and a performer. Finally, and maybe the most important, is developing good technique. Now, if you are broke, of which there is no shame, use YouTube or a search engine to find some free guides to practicing and developing good technique. Then do them daily. 10 minutes every day is far better than an hour once a week. Learn to sing from the diaphragm, and alongside that, develop a good speaking voice. You speak far more than you sing, and as someone who through injury found themselves going hoarse just in everyday speech and had to relearn all this from virtually ground zero, I can attest to how important it can be. So learn to modulate your speaking voice, and that control will pay dividends galore in your performance voice. I think we can leave it at this for today. In the next videos, I will look at the day of recording itself, both from a performance side and also an engineering side. But you have plenty of information to digest and to put into practice here. So as always, go away and make some noise. But before I sign off, as I promised, here are a few beginner techniques that you can start using straight away to strengthen and develop your voice. Please note, I provide these for demonstration only. I'm not a singing teacher, and as a result of previous injury, I will probably never regain my full singing voice or range. These are intended as an introduction only. Please seek out more qualified sources to expand upon these demonstrations. Lip trills. These release lip tension and connect your breathing and speaking. Place your lips loosely together and release air in a steady stream to create a trill or raspberry sound. First try it on a H sound, then repeat on a B sound. Hold the sound steady and keep the air moving past the lips. Next, try to repeat the B trill, going slowly up and down the scales. But don't go beyond what is comfortable at the top or the bottom of the scale. This is just a warm-up. Then we have tongue trills. These relax the tongue and engage your breathing and voice. Lightly place your tongue tip behind your upper teeth and exhale while vibrating your tongue tip in a trill. Hold the sound steady and keep the breathing connected. Now try to vary the pitch up and down the scale while trilling. Again, don't push beyond what is comfortable at the top or bottom of your scale. Now we're going to do a tongue twister. You should start these slow so you get comfortable with the words and then gradually speed up. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers. A peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled peppers, where's the peck of pickled peppers Peter Piper picked? Go on, you do it. As always, if you have any questions or if you think I have missed something, use the comment section below. And before you leave, if you found this useful, hit the like button so YouTube knows this and shares it with others. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell so you get notified when the next video is ready for your enjoyment. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Have a great day.